I'm here with Cosmin, and he's going to interview me. I always knew this day would come where I've done enough rig reviews where I always wanted to get everybody in the group first, but we finally got to my rig, and I didn't save the best for last. I kind of wanted the best first. So anyway, we got Cosmin's today. His is definitely top of the list, but today we got mine. And
yeah, so tell us about your rig. What year is it?
This is a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon diesel.
Oh, diesel.
Diesel. And I didn't buy it for off-road recovery in mind. I bought it to hunt with, and it wasn't until after I got it and I got the winch installed that I want to learn how to use the winch, and so that's when I got involved with SNORR, Southern Nevada Off-Road Recovery, to learn how to use a winch. And once I did that, I just I said, you know what, I want to join these guys and learn how to do it.
And the rest is history, because you've definitely put in a lot of work since you joined and got really involved, so that's awesome.
Now, there's similarities here because we both, I really love the stock bumper, and I got the stock Mopar lights. They're not cheaper, but they're very rugged. I keep the covers on them a lot because rocks, and sometimes we get out there and it's muddy. I like to only use them when I need it, and I take the cover off and they're not muddy,
No, that makes sense. It protects the lights, but also they're not cheap, like you said. I don't want to lose one of those. Yeah. Although I always forget to put my cover back on, so I see you're much more diligent than
well,
I am.
I don't know about that. This is a Warn. It's a VR 10S winch. I went with 10, not knowing I probably should have got the 12, but quite frankly, I'm very happy with the 10, and it hasn't held me back at all. I've been through 3 winch lines. This is my 3rd winch line since I started.
That's how much work you've been putting in.
Well, as a rookie, you make mistakes and you drag it over rocks and things. And so I'm on my 3rd. I really like, this is a factor 55 thimble. It'll take a soft or hard shackle. And this is a Haas Pro roller lead, fair lead.
Now you got a synthetic line or you got a steel line?
Synthetic.
Ah, okay.
Now the roller fair lead is something I'm going to talk about, I think, in the future, but the roller fair lead is really advantageous for all winch lines I've found.
Makes sense, and that's a really nice clean setup.
Thank you. I did go with GMRS radio. It's required for the group, and I just got it reprogrammed with the new channels we're going with. I had no idea when I started how important these A-pillar lights are, and they really got to be turned outwards. I know you've probably experienced this, Cosmin, when you're going down a dirt road in the mountains, and you need to turn right, but without the lights to the sides, you can't see anything.
Absolutely, so you don't know where the trail is at. I mean, I feel like I use my pillar lights more than I use my front lights, because you got the headlights up front, yeah. But those really come in super handy.
Yeah, they're good. Coming around, I went with Quadratec flashlight holder. Very good. This is my 2nd one. They're cheap, but they break. I have the bulletproof mounting system. I really like it. It went in just like yours does. You take the rubber mat off and it goes right in. I use the Quadratec mount for my radio. I like it on the side there.
Oh.
I was worried it would get in the way of the passenger, but it really hasn't. At least nobody's complained, so I think we're okay. One thing that was really cool is that just a few months after I bought this, I got an email from Jeep, and they added OnX trails right into the computer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
my Jeep.
I got the OnX trails on my phone. I can add waypoints for a recovery, the coordinates, mark the waypoint, come out, put my phone in, and I pull up OnX trails, and it's got the waypoint right there on the dash.
Built into the Uconnect. That is amazing.
It's been really good. I like it a lot. As far as air down, air up, I went with the ARB Twin. I kind of did a hybrid system. I used the ARB plate to go under the passenger seat, I wanted it in the rig. I didn't want it on the outside because it's an expensive pump and I wanted clean air.
Absolutely.
And so I rigged it so that underneath each seat of a Jeep is a grommet that goes in and out. It makes it very simple to install that. And so I put the air between compressor under the seat. I put the switch with the factory switch panel, and I actually put the tank on the frame underneath.
Ah.
Yeah. And the chuck is actually over here. I put the chuck here so that I wouldn't have, I just like it because I can air up my own and then I can pull up behind somebody and air up somebody else really easily.
Yeah, that's really slick. I have mine in the back and I really wish I put one in the front like you did. That's great.
Well, I front or back. I think it's probably great either way.
Something about the front, you can pull up to somebody, give them some air. I mean, you've used that to help me up, so yeah.
I kind of throw my gear in, is duffel bags. I have, this is my winch controller. I actually carry 2 different air systems. I carry just a single line from ARB, and then I went with Speedflate to fill up all 4 tires at once, which is very similar to Moreflate. Both great systems. As far as recovery equipment goes, you know, I just kind of have my duffels here. I always carry these cheap blankets. I think back when my kids played sports, I was always somewhere I got cold. And but I find it's useful if you got to get in the dirt or something and you just lay it out. I'm kind of been very partial to Safe-Xtract, and their equipment is great equipment. It's not cheap though.
It's not cheap, but they do make some good stuff.
I have 2 kinetic ropes. This is the short 20-foot. I have a 30-foot.
And which one do you use most often?
Well,
20 or the 30?
Okay, so you know what? I'm kind of partial to the 20 because if heaven forbid I need to tow somebody, it's so great using the kinetic and it's less likely to drag.
Oh, absolutely.
But if I'm just going to do a snatch pull, I'd go with the 30 just because you got momentum and less likely you're going to collide or something.
Yeah, a little bit more room so they don't run into you.
Got the I really like using I got 2 of these for if you want to hold that for me. I like these that will take a soft shackle to go into the hitch recovery point. Makes it very advantageous, you know. That one will take a hard or soft shackle. This one's only soft, but I have kind of a collection of soft shackles now. I have too many of them.
Oh, and
this is Harbor Freight here.
Safe-Xtract made some of these too. That's nice.
Yeah, real nice. Believe it or not, this is one I use a lot. This is for Harbor Freight. You know, it's labeled. It's got the minimum braking strength, 56,000 pounds.
Oh.
The only problem is it's really fat, and you can't get it everywhere you want to go. You know?
Yeah. I don't think it says it or not on that thing.
Yeah. This rig is. I didn't lift it. This is original suspension. All I did was 35s that my tires need to be replaced. I just chose not to lift it, and I chose not to get really big wheels. To be honest with you, more for fuel economy, and it sounds boring in an off-road environment, but you know, I was worried that if I started modifying, I just wouldn't stop.
That's how it goes. That's what they call it, just empty every pocket, right?
Yeah, right. This is a cell booster. You know,
do you find that helps on recoveries?
It really hasn't. It's more for when you get out in the valleys in northern Nevada where the signal's thin. You know, where we go into the mountains, it's either there or it's not. It will not create a signal, it only amplifies an existing signal. And so sometimes I find I have coverage when others don't. I like it. It gives me a little more confidence. When it comes right down to it, though, I do have satellite communication I can use.
Absolutely, but this comes in handy for hunting, basically.
Yeah. I'm a student of Randy Newberg. He's a great hunter, and that's one he recommended on your rigs. And you know, when you get to remote spots in northern Nevada, especially for like antelope hunting and things, you know, sometimes you just need some more coverage, and I like it.
That makes sense.
I really like the Rubicon rock rail is going all the way around.
So that's stock?
That's stock.
Oh, that's
yeah,
real nice.
Yeah, it is. And only the Rubicon has it. The Mojave does not have the rock rail back here.
And you can use it as a step basically to just kind of like hop in the bed and look for stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I really kept it to be able to use it as a truck. One day I hope to get a motorcycle again, a dirt bike.
Oh.
And I want to be able to load it up. And we do recover motorcycles occasionally. I've recovered usually it's an adventure bike. And so I like having the ability to do it. I don't have a tonneau cover, but you know, like when I had a lake recovery the other day, they asked me to bring some diesel, and so you know, I'm able to keep this, and it can slosh around, and I don't worry about it.
So you got the extension lines?
Yeah. So I did do these molly panels, and this is of course high lift jack. That is a box I got from Armored Surplus store. I keep some straps and some other gear in there, some extra jacks. 3 recovery boards because I lost one in the snow. and my shovel. I prefer full-size shovels. I don't like little. I know the short shovels are so popular, but I don't like to bend over so much and get on my knees and shovel. So
I'm with you, man. I feel like my back is not built for those kind of shovels.
Now I do swap it out for the flat nose in the winter because the flat nose works so much better with the ice. But I find that in the summertime I like a standard shovel.
Yeah, the lake is great.
This is just something I picked up. You know, a lot of people with recovery these days are really sworn off cable. This was a cable that actually somebody in the group, once you bend it, it's bad. You got to get rid of it. And somebody in the group had a winch they had done that to, and I found out they were just going to discard this cable. And so I said, hey, give me the cable, I want it. And I took it to a rigging company here in town, and they crimped these ends. And it's really nice just to have an extra 100 feet, and I don't have to worry about if it's going over some rocks or whatever it is, because a synthetic line will kill the rocks will kill it, you know.
Absolutely. I think the steel lines are underrated in my opinion. For a lot of conditions out here, having that as an option is really good.
So we had a request for what we thought was going to be a really long pole, and it didn't turn out to be. It was just a false alarm, but I do take this with me. I do have a synthetic extension too, but you know, it's something I use when I need to. The one thing about the Rubicon is that a lot of vehicles don't have, you know, we have these really nice open recovery points, and we got them on the front too. So I primarily use the hitch, and then on the front I had Warren makes these here that go right onto the frame.
Oh.
And that allows me to do a closed recovery from the front, because these are really nice, but it's open, you know.
Yeah, not just open, like the angle on these things just make it hard in a bunch of positions to get a good grip on them, even if they're open.
Yeah,
that's really nice. I definitely
but you know,
that for my Jeep.
it isn't the best, but how many vehicles come stock with any recovery points, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really good.
This does have recovery points, but I knew that when I joined Warren, we only use closed recovery points. And so for 180 bucks from Warren, I got those and installed them myself. And it's worked out really good.
Nice. I should get some of those.
Yeah. And this is my rig.
Well, thank you for walking us through your rig. This is awesome.
Thanks, Cosmin. Appreciate it. Yeah, I hope to do some more recoveries with you.
Definitely.